is this tying into prophecy today? How is this animated rock that they are showing you all over YouTube, the scientists that are deceiving you, just as they're supposed to, as I said they would? They are the angels of the great dragon, that old serpent, according to Revelation chapter 12 and verse 9. Do you not know that he is orchestrating them to tell you what they are not, opposed to telling you what it is and what they are? They are deceiving you. That's the city that was promised to come, and on that city is the mothership being taken on that planet, that city. That planet is 7 miles in diameter, 7 miles, like the city called Manhattan again, in New York, New York. Manhattan, New York. And the mothership is on it. The mothership is only 900 feet in diameter. That's 3 city blocks, 900 feet. That's 3 football fields, the mothership, in diameter. So that means the burden, that rock that you see is prophetically hidden under the word in English known as Tari. Tari spelled in English from left to right, T-Y-R-E. Tari. And our last tabernacle, our last Feast of Tabernacle that was observed was in 2024. On the 15th day of the 7th month of our calendar that was known in your calendar back then, on last year, September. As September 27th, 26th, from sundown September 26th to sundown September 27th was the first day of the Feast of Tabernacle. And that was also the first day of the 70th year of the angel that was prophesied and hidden in Revelation chapter 21 and verse 17 of the measure. That means that the angel, the Son of God, came out of a womb, the same womb that was taken away in 2017, on the 15th day of the 7th month, or September 27th, 1954, right after a few months of meeting Dwight Eisenhower, the president at that time of the United States of America.
There are those who claim that America's next president actually met with extraterrestrials. Palm Springs, California, February 20th, 1954. President Dwight D. Eisenhower is on a winter holiday when in the middle of the night, he simply disappears.
When you're president of the United States, we should know where you are at all times. But this one evening in February of 1954, Eisenhower just goes missing. To the point where the Associated Press put out a wire saying he died. He died in the middle of the night. And then 2 minutes later, they retracted it and said, no, our mistake. And the next morning, he shows up at church. So something happened in the middle of that night that is obviously off the books, unexplained, and really strange.
Where was President Eisenhower during the time that he disappeared? Well, according to numerous accounts that surfaced after the incident, Eisenhower allegedly attended a most unusual meeting.
There's a story that on February 20th, 1954, President Eisenhower had a meeting with extraterrestrials. This took place at an airbase. Eisenhower was presumably asked to renounce and give up nuclear weapons. And in exchange, the extraterrestrials would give the US technology which would change the world. The story is that Eisenhower turned down this deal because he couldn't be sure that the Soviets would do the same thing.
Did President Eisenhower really meet with extraterrestrials? Well, if he did, the government successfully covered up any definitive evidence. But in recent years, it's become harder to keep secrets about UFOs because multiple government organizations have been actively investigating this mysterious phenomenon.
There have been several recent hearings on UFOs, both in Congress and with NASA. And so what we've seen is this subject increasingly moving out of the fringe and into the mainstream, which makes me wonder, what is it they're not telling us?
Mr. Knapp, do you have have you heard about, events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that?
So
the president, particularly in his capacity as commander-in-chief, can make that call. And maybe we will see it one day soon. My fellow Americans, people of the world, we are not alone.
I am the one that shook hands with Dwight Eisenhower. Can't you see the size of my hand? If you cannot, then come to me and I will show you the size of my hand. My hands are not human. My hand is celestial. I have a big hand with long fingers. I shook hands with Dwight Eisenhower, and we made an agreement. We made a proposal to him that he refused. That ought to make the United States government kind of happy to know that, although he is no longer here today. But he stood firm on his constitutional swearing as he was sworn in under the Constitution of the United States. He held that firm. He did not betray his government.
I, Dwight D. Eisenhower, do solemnly swear that you will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States, that I will faithfully execute the office of the President of the United States, and will, to the best of your ability, and will, to the best of my ability, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. So help you God. So help me God.
I am not crediting him. I am explaining him to you. I am the hand. And on that date last year, September 27th, became the 70th year from 1954. That's 70 years. And that's when prophecy began of the rock that you see now that's coming. The rock that they are showing you in animation. The rock that's being identified by the English word today known as Tyre. Again, Tyre. Hidden in Isaiah chapter 23. Beginning at verse 1. However, in verse 15, I quote Isaiah chapter 23 and verse 15, I quote, as in the 15th day of the 7th month. And it shall come to pass in that day that Tyre shall be forgotten 70 years, according to the days of one king. After the end of 70 years shall Tyre sing as an harlot.
Previously on At Last, God is Coming, the Eighth Seal, Part 1. Reference Micah chapter 1, verses 1 through 4.
The three are Atlas, A-T-L-A-S, Atlas. Now, I am going to reveal to you the truth of what that is, according to prophecy, which is prophetical, according to symbolic, which is symbolized, and according to allegory and metaphor. I'm going to reveal it. In other words, I'm also going to sing. I'm going to sing unto God, as I said at the beginning of this testimony, according to Psalms, the very first word of the book called the Psalms, in chapter 68 and verse 4. And I'm going to sing as follows. But before I sing, let me first explain to you what the word sing means in its true Hebraic meaning, opposed to how it was transliterated into English today, as spelled from left to right, S-I-N-G, sing. Though in English, the synonyms, a few synonyms, synonymous meanings of the English word sing is discovered to be known as snitch, as in, I'm going to now snitch on the scientists and the astrologers and the United States government of this world. I'm going to snitch. It also means to talk, synonymously, to talk. I'm going to utter. I'm going to lift up my voice. That is synonymous to sing, lift up a voice. I'm going to inform on. That's synonymous to sing. And I'm also going to manifest. That is synonymous to sing. I'm going to give away information. Synonymous to sing. I'm going to spill knowledge. I'm going to tell, and I'm going to uncover some secrets. These are all a few words, synonymous words, that are connected to sing in English. S-I-N-G. Even as you thought that only sing, to sing, the only meaning was to utter your tone and voice and sing as you do in church or as you do in concert or as singers do on albums and recordings and videos. Not so. Although the truth is, opposed to the English meaning and synonymous words for sing, comes the Hebrew word, the original Hebrew, the way it was found on the scrolls, the Hebrew scrolls, that was taken from the Hebrew word known as shor, that is spelled from right to left in Hebrew, Sheen, Wav, Resh. Sheen, Wav, Resh. And it means to travel on a journey and go, as in a traveler. A traveler. And that can be confirmed in your James Strong's Exhaustive Concordance under reference H7788. Shor. For thereby, in connection to Psalms chapter 68 and verse 4, where the word sing in English is found twice, that would explain the first appearance of the English word sing means to travel with God, to travel unto God. And the second sing is the utterance of music, make music, to sing praises with music, instruments. And that can be confirmed in Strong's H2167. So there you have a revelation of sing that was hidden for many years in a book called the Psalms in chapter 68 and verse 4. Again, the first is to travel with God, travel unto God, as I take a journey with my arb, and I will also sing praises to him with music and instruments, even with my drums. Once I complete my singing, I will bring to your attention that he rides upon the heavens as he's coming down, as I said so in Micah chapter 1 and verse 2 and 3. It's coming down, and the mountains shall be cleft under him. Therefore let no man deceive you. This so-called, that means what? The name that you see here, the so-called name that you see here, Tari, is hidden under H6865 in your Strong's Concordance. Again, that's Strong's H6865, Tari, comes from the Hebrew word known as sor. Sor, spelled from right to left with two Hebrew characters. They're Sare Resh. Sare Resh. And it means a rock. And this is that rock that they are showing you today on social media and on YouTube, on the media, on news medias across this planet. A rock. Sare Sor. Sor. It also means, according to its etymology, under H6864, it also means hard pebble or flint, sharp stone, and that will explain the smaller rocks that you see that are coming with the big rock. That's the smaller rock, the pebble, the hard pebble. That's what they're showing you in animation, but in reality and by truth, they are spacecrafts. They are what this government is calling UFOs that are being monitored by NORAD.
It's a non-classified object.
Of the United States and Canada.
I'm not jumped to the conclusion that I believe that there are, aliens coming from another planet. But I'm open to that. And I think that it's our responsibility, especially when we're seeing that we have a government that is actively blocking information from us. Just last night, I tried to get an amendment onto the National Defense Authorization Act that fit in the germaneness of that bill to have UAP disclosure. And conveniently, it was named non-germane, mostly deemed by staff, not even an elected official. This is the kind of stuff that we repeatedly see. Last year, we were blocked by someone in House administration from being able to receive a full briefing from Arrow. So not an elected official, but someone in staff blocked us. And I've had it. Enough is enough. I want to cue up a video that I've been given. And as before it starts, I'm going to describe, this was taken October 30th of 2024. This video is of an MQ-9 drone tracking an orb, or this object, off the coast of Yemen. You'll see that another MQ-9 launched a Hellfire missile. You cannot see that drone. And so I'm not going to explain it to you. You'll see exactly what it does. This is when it zoomed out. So you can still see it traveling. So, Mr. Knapp, do you have you heard about, events like this occurring? And what information might you have?
I have heard about events like this. I have heard about this event. Jeremy Corbell and I talked about it in one of our episodes a while back. We did not have the video, though. There are servers where there's a whole bank of these kind of videos that Congress has not been allowed to see, that the public hasn't been allowed to see. Occasionally, some of that stuff gets out in the wild and it comes our way. It should be going to you. The public should be seeing this stuff. And why you're not allowed to, I don't know. But that's a Hellfire missile smacking into that UFO and just bounced right off. And it kept going.
It kept going, and it looks like the debris was taken with it.
Yeah. What the hell is that? What
So
flies?
Those are smaller aircrafts, which is also explained in Psalms chapter 68 and verse 17. The chariots of God are 20,000. Take another look at that at the animation that they're showing you on YouTube. Don't you see those look like it'd be about a few 100,000, a couple of thousand, tens of thousand, or 10, 20,000? See, that's all that is recorded in Psalms. It's more than 20,000. How can you count and limit us to only 20,000? Why did you limit us to only 20,000? Why would you do that? You don't know. They're more than you can imagine, but they're on their way. You're deceiving the world. Again, that animation that they're showing you, a long cigar-shaped rock, is hidden under Sor, a rock. And it was also hidden in the Bible, in several scriptures, especially the book called Psalms. For example, in Psalm chapter 31 and verse 3, "For thou art my rock and my fortress. Therefore, for thy name's sake, lead me and guide me." End quote, Ma'ab. Psalm chapter 49 and chapter 42 and verse 9. Psalm chapter 42 and verse 9. "I will say unto my rock, my God." I will say unto God, my rock. I will say unto my rock, my God. Hebrew is from right to left as well as left to right, as you read it from left to right in English, but in Hebrew it's right to left. "I will say unto my rock, unto my God, why hast thou forgotten me? Why go I mourning because of the oppression of the enemy?" Psalm chapter 61, verse 2, "From the end of the earth will I cry unto thee when my heart is overwhelmed. Lead me to the rock that is higher than I." Psalm chapter 62, verse 2, "He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be greatly moved." In verse 6, in chapter 62 of Psalms, "He only is my rock and my salvation. He is my defense. I shall not be moved." Not just not be greatly moved, but I shall not be moved at all, according to verse 6. In verse 7, "In God is my salvation and my glory, the rock of my strength, and my refuge is in God." Psalm chapter 78, verse 16, "He brought streams also out of the rock and caused waters to run down like rivers." As you see now,
Downtown West
that's
Allen.
all over this planet.
This is at 84th Street.
Verse 20 of Psalm 78, "Behold, he smote the rock, that the waters gushed out, and the streams overflowed. Can he give bread also? Can he provide flesh for his people?" Psalm chapter 92, verse 15, "To shew that the Lord is upright, he is my rock, and there is no unrighteousness in him." Chapter 94, verse 22 of Psalm, "But the Lord is my defense, and my God is the rock of my refuge." This is the rock. The rock that they want to animate your mind to believing is just some type of mysterious object flying through space. You know, unbelievable to many. A comet. A comet? No, a coming. Not comet, coming. Why? Well, the way of an eagle in the air, the way of a serpent upon a rock, the way of a ship in the midst of the sea, and the way of a man with a maid, according to Proverbs chapter 30 and verse 19. Needless to say, enter into the rock and hide thee in the dust, for fear of the Lord, the God of Hebrews, and for the glory of his majesty, according to Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 10. This is the rock. And because thou hast forgotten the God of thy salvation, and hast not been mindful of the rock of thy strength, therefore shalt thou plant pleasant plants, and shall set it with strange slips. According to Isaiah chapter 17 and verse 10. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine, and doeth them, I will liken him unto a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. According to Matthew chapter 7 and verse 24, that is my promise. And in going back to Isaiah chapter 23 and verse 15, you'll also find the word harlot and sing. The words sing, harlot, king. These are all prophetical allegories and similes. For thereby to sing, I am singing. That means this king, after the end of 70 years, shall the rock sing as an harlot. And I'm now singing. That means I'm testifying under H6030. Under Anah. Under Anah is also found as the meaning of the word sing. That means to testify. It means to testify, to sing, to respond, to speak, to shout, and to answer. Respond as a witness. And I said, let the Lord God be witness against you. In Micah chapter 1 and verse 2. That's hidden under sing. The king will sing. I am now singing. Again, that's under Strong's H6030, Anah. Spelled in Hebrew from right to left. Ayin, Nun, Hey. Anah. In addition to that, you also have the word harlot. This harlot is not what you think it is. This is a word, one word that's split into two. It is two words, a prefix and a suffix. There is no harlot. It was hidden in codex, sealed. I'm now going to loose the seal of what you thought was harlot, whereby the first half is a prefix that's known and read as har. That's H-A-R. Now, this H-A-R in English from left to right is found hidden in the New English Translation Bible. In the New English, the N-E-T, the New English Translation Bible, H-A-R, har, that you'll read in Judges chapter 1 and verse 35. And that reads, as I quote, the Amorites managed to remain in Har Heres, Ahalon, and Shelabim, whenever the tribe of Joseph was strong militarily. The Amorites were forced to do hard labor, end quote. And here, as you can see in this verse, is found the English word known as har. That's from left to right, H-A-R. So this means what in comparison to this testimony and prophecy? Well, this H-A-R without the vowel is what we're looking for. We're looking for H-R. This H-R is in essence in combination with the year that I will reveal this prophecy of 70 years. That means before these 70 years are up, which is only a few days from now, on September 27th, 2025. I repeat, these 70 years will be up on September 27th of this calendar, 2025. That's like 22 more days from this calendar's date, which is September 3rd. And whenever you hear this recording, this testimony, you must submit to the har, the H-R, that's hidden under Strong's what? You guessed it. Hidden under Strong's 2025, that preserved the harlot. The harlot. That means this will be revealed in 2025 when the 70 years will still be in progress. That means altar. H 2025, the same as this year, hidden under the Strong's Concordance, H 2025, which is altar and altar hearth. Now, that means it came from, although they have it there, but it actually comes from Strong's H 2022, har, and you'll find it there in Hebrew from right to left. Hey, resh, har. And it means the mountain, the same mountain of Micah chapter 1. And it means the mountain, the same mountain of Micah chapter 1 that I read, verses 2 and 3, the mountain of the Lord. That's the har. I am the mountain. I'm the har. The har says half of the har, which you thought was Lot. Harlot. No, that's har. The hill country. The harlot. And this hill country, I'm the mountain, but the hill country is on Capitol Hill, Washington, District of Columbia. And that's who I'm targeting right now. That's who I'm testifying and uttering against right now. The hill country. Who? The mountain. As the Lord is coming down and tread upon the mountain, the valleys shall be cleft. That's the har. Remember, the harlot will sing. And I'm singing in verse 15 of Isaiah chapter 23. Again, it says, and after the end of 70 years shall Tadi the rock sing as an harlot. See, not sing like an harlot, sing as an harlot. That's har, the mountain. And again, that is where the altar was hidden, the same altar of Revelation chapter 11. Nevertheless, in the same group of Bibles, you will find the Amplified Bible. The Amplified Bible also carries the HAR, har, that will take you to Revelation chapter 16 and verse 16. Again, har, hidden in the Amplified Bible. Revelation chapter 16, verse 16, keeping in mind that this is the prefix only of har that you thought was harlot. And that reads, the Amplified Bible, Revelation chapter 16, verse 16 reads, I quote, and they, demons, gather the kings and armies of the world together at the place which in Hebrew is called Har Megadon, or, in parentheses, Armageddon, end quote. And now, as I begin to close this mysterious revelation that subjects this so-called rock, or this, quote, three-eye atlas, end quote, that is being monitored by scientists of the world, we must now go to the suffix lot. And that lot is a covering. It means covering. Covering, lot, covering, hidden under Strong's H 3876, lot, or lot. Lot in Hebrew. Again, hidden under Strong's H 3876. Lot. That means covering. As I'm covering now this entire revelation and placing it in an envelope. Placing it in an envelope according to Strong's H 3875. I'm covering it, placing it in an envelope so that you can seal it up, that when it happens, you will not be able to say, I did not warn you. I did not reveal it. And I'm going to wrap it up closely. I'm going to wrap closely and tighten it up, this mysterious testimony and revelation, as I snitch and utter and reveal and uncover, according to Strong's H 3874, hidden under lot or loot. Loot. So I'm going to do that right now as follows. With your har, with your Armageddon, of Revelation chapter 16 and verse 16. And as I do, I'm going to go back now to Revelation chapter 11, from chapter 16 to chapter 11. And I'm going to read verse 1 that says, I quote, "And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood, as I'm now standing, saying, Rise, rise, and measure the temple of God, and the altar, and them that worship therein." End quote. And here's your altar. Here's your same altar that's mentioned. That's coming from Isaiah chapter 23 and verse 15. Your altar even as the Atlas. And when you look at Atlas again, you have A-L-T-A-S. You have A-T-L-A-S, and in the R, you have A-L-T-A-R, opposed to the S. What comes before S in your English alphabets? R. So if you place an R opposed to the S in Atlas, then you have A-L-T-A-R, altar, A-L-T-A-R. For thereby hidden in the word Armageddon, there's no such word, no such place as Armageddon. Remember, this revelation is of me, according to Revelation chapter 1, verse 1. Revelation chapter 1, verse 1, me. Revelation of the Christ, the altar, the Armageddon. When you look at Armageddon, it's three words: arm, aged, and dawn. The first is arm. The first word is arm, A-R-M in English, A-R-M in English. And that arm is found in Ezekiel chapter 30. So go to it, Ezekiel chapter 30. And that reads, I quote, Ezekiel chapter 30 and verse 21. Verse 21, it says, "As I was told by mine Ob, son of man, I have broken the arm of Pharaoh, king of Egypt," which is an allegory for the president, king of the United States, president of the United States. "And lo, it shall not be bound up to be healed, to put a roller to bind it, to make it strong, to hold the sword." End quote. That means, in an allegory, in a metaphor, that means there was a hand, there's a hand of Pharaoh that is broken, and it will not be healed. He will not be able to use that arm or that hand much longer than is prophetically allowed, to be put as a roller to bind it. There would be no roller to bind it, to make it strong, to hold the sword. That sword is like an ink pen, or the rulership, the sword, the scepter of the United States of America. That's the arm. That's the first place where arm is hidden from what you thought was Armageddon. And the second place is hidden in Daniel chapter 12. Well, chapter 12 and chapter 11, the first chapter 12 is what? When I stand. When I stand in Daniel chapter 12, I will reveal it. I will reveal Armageddon when I stand. I can only do this when I stand. And that reads, Daniel 12:1 reads, I quote, "And at that time shall Michael stand up," and I'm standing up. Who? The great prince. See, the great voice, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. "And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book." End quote. And now, where's the arm? Where's the arm? Back in chapter 11 and verse 6. In Daniel chapter 11, verse 6, as I quote, "And in the end of years they shall join themselves together. For the king's daughter of the south shall come to the king of the north to make an agreement. But she shall not retain the power of the arm. The king in the south, the king's daughter of the south, would be Yehuda, is a daughter, but the king of Judah or Yehuda would be me. That shall come to the king of the north, and I did, to make an agreement, and they refused to see me. And that's why now she shall not retain the power of the arm, neither shall he stand, nor his arm, but she shall be given up, and they that brought her, and he that begat her, and he that strengthened her in these times, which means my people must be delivered. And that's why we had to read chapter 12, verse 1 first, as my people must be delivered today. But the question now is, do you believe this arm that's in my report? Do you believe the meaning, the hidden meaning, the allegory, the prophetics, the midrash of this arm prophetically symbolized? That takes us to the final meaning and the final revelation of this arm, which is hidden in Isaiah chapter 53 and verse 1. As I ask, who hath believed our report? Our report. Who? And to whom is the arm of the Lord revealed?
In the murders of 2 defectors.
Whom? Are you listening? Are you one of those to believe the report or do not believe? Do you not believe the report? This arm is hidden under the Strong's Concordance on Hebrew under H2220. Zorah. Zorah. And it means strength. The strength of the arm. The forces, political and military, the shoulder. On his shoulder. The government shall be upon his shoulder. See, according to Isaiah chapter 9, verse 6, the government shall be upon his shoulder. Now you know the mystery of that. By what? The arm. The arm. The Zorah. Hidden in prophecy. For when? For when my arm is on his way, coming down with the city. It also means producing, yielding seed, and scatter seed, which is happening today, according to Strong's H2232. Zorah. This is a powerful revelation today. One of the most powerful. And now that takes us to the second word that you thought was part of just one Armageddon, and that would be aged. You have ARM, that's the arm, and then you have AGAD, aged. This aged is hidden in a book called Jeremiah chapter 6, beginning at verse 9. Jeremiah chapter 6, beginning at verse 9. As I quote, "Thus saith the Lord, the God of the Hebrews of hosts, they shall thoroughly glean the remnant of Israel as a vine. Turn back thine hand as a grape gatherer into the baskets. To whom shall I speak and give warning, as I'm doing now? They that they may hear. Behold, their ear is uncircumcised, and they cannot hearken, as I said so in the beginning of this testimony, according to Micah chapter 1 and verse 2. Behold, the word of the Lord is unto them a reproach. They have no delight in it at all." I know that you do not have any delight. I'm not prophesying and revealing this for your sake because you have no delight. I am fulfilling prophecy because the destroyer of the Gentiles is on his way. This was preserved for the last days, remember? Genesis chapter 49, verse 1, and Matthew chapter 24 and verse 3. Therefore, I am full of the fury of the Lord my arm. I am weary with holding in. I will pour it out upon the children abroad and upon the assembly of young men together. For even the husband with the wife shall be taken. They call that what? Rapture. Two shall be in the field, one shall be taken, and the other left. According to Matthew chapter 24 and verse 40. The age with him that is full of days. And there's your age. And that age comes from the Hebrew word under H2204, known as Zakan. Zakan. Spelled in Hebrew from right to left. Zion, Kof, Nun Sophie. Zakan. And it means to be old, even to become old at a show age, to grow old. That's the old man. That old man is now in the Oval Office. And according to that birth certificate that he has, he's like 79 years old of age. 79 years old of age. Arm aged. Who? Don. That's the last of the three words, Don. As in Armageddon. You thought it was Armageddon. No, that's three different words. See, Don must be present today in order for me to reveal it. He's part of the altar. See, the word Don, it means gift in Spanish. Don means gift in Spanish. And that will conclude the last part of Don, as hard was the altar. Remember, under H2025, Don will be present in the year 2025. That comes from H2022. So now, in conclusion, we'll bring Don to an end, according to Matthew chapter 5, and verses 23 and 24. As I close, I quote Matthew chapter 5 and verses 23 and 24. Therefore, if thou bring thy gift to the altar, and there rememberest that thy brother hath aught against thee, leave there thy gift before the altar, and go thy way. First be reconciled to thy brother, and then come and offer thy gift. End quote. Are you offering a gift to me today, Don? I am the one that you are waiting for. You know I'm here. I am the reason why your mother gave you that Bible when you were at age 9. 9, aged, see, 9, as in September. I'm the Bible that was given to you, the Biblia. Come to me, and I will heal you. Continue to ignore me, and I will continue to curse you on the altar, according to Revelation chapter 11 and verse 1. And that's all I have to say.